Hello, everybody. I know that you guys got used to midnight reality checks. If you didn't, then you should go back to the YouTube channel because last week it was a whole dose of reality. And we are really at a time in Virginia where if I have to be the constant dose of reality for everybody, but also for the bleak future of our children, because people, I think I had probably 10 people in the last week tell me that, I needed to focus on one or 2 points, or I needed to slow it down. It's too much for people to comprehend, and I will say it again, is that no, we don't have enough time for me to go speak to people and start at a level 1, which is where the rest of the nation was a decade, 12 years ago. We are that far behind because of the lie. Again, got into a debate with a conservative prior educator the other night at an event because she was an educator for 35 years and was told we didn't have Common Core. She was adamant we didn't have Common Core. Also did not believe that we were 50th in the nation. We are top in the nation. No, ma'am, we are not. If even Youngkin. So again, this honesty gap, the report, if you haven't read it, that he put out in May, his commitment to Virginians' education. If you go all the way to the whole, if he was to actually speak to what people hear, the honesty gap, what it is, if you go, and so I've had a teacher, a Looney Tune VEA teacher. I found her. She had stalked me at the last board education meeting. And she was like, and by the way, we're not 50th in the nation. And I said, by the way, we are. And where are you getting this information? Because she sent me the NAEP link. Well, here's the thing about the NAEP link is that the standards in Virginia, and this would be for the last 13, 12 years prior to our Red Scare that happened last year. I'm not calling it a red wave anymore. Is so they couldn't perform to the standards, so they kept dropping them. So when you drop the standards, it's going to appear what? That they're higher, that students are doing better than they are. So when you continue to drop the standards so that it looks like students are doing better, and everybody will admit, student over the last 12 or 13 years, standards were dropped and dropped and dropped. So it appears, this is the honesty gap, but Youngkin and Gadara do not communicate it so that layman terms are, the honesty gap is that, so what I continue to share with people, and people are like, where did you get that? It's called Mapping State Scores by the Institute of Education Sciences and NAEP, which is the nation's report card. If you pull up NAEP, they don't do a quantitative evaluation of what each state's standards are. They just report which each state individually scored. So if you look up Mapping State Standards, Institute of Education Sciences, and NAEP, what they do is they take each state's standards and they level them. And then they look at the student's performance. So when you've dumbed down standards to make students look like it, but drop the standards, once you quantify how students are actually performing at the same level, we are 50th in the nation. we are 50th in the nation. That Youngkin in his own report, if you go all the way through our commitment to Virginia, blah, 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 the honesty gap report from May, it's on his own thing, guys. And he has a red box around it. I didn't put that red box there. But people don't go and actually read. They're like, oh, Youngkin said this. He's going to make it better. No, he's not going to make it better. So here is me and my minority report, because we now are living in a dystopian future that is inevitably going to happen. Why? Because they created it. So here's the thing: is that this is me. I'm going to be Klaus Schwab and Glenn Youngkin, and I'm going to foresee the future. What's going to happen is, so Youngkin promised 2 weeks ago, when, if you didn't pay attention, when they were having the NEA report for 2021, because they do it every 2 years, same thing as the 2019 report. We are bottom of the barrel, only state, guys, it's not just below proficient, basic, in 4th grade reading, 8th grade literacy, and 4th grade math. Again, the Nate man gave a report on 8th grade math when we haven't taken 8th grade math since 2007. But anyway, so they had this big press conference and everybody's like, oh, damn those liberals and those Democrats for dumbing down the standards, and Youngkin's going to make it better. So here's the thing. We will, in the next couple of years, look like we're doing better. Not because anything's changed, guys, because nothing's going to change. Because Youngkin cannot accomplish this. Let me see if I can get his words. It's time that we hit the throttle on bringing businesses into Virginia. That was, I think, from Friday. If you didn't watch the Virginia Consortium for I'm really Klaus Schwab and let's make Virginia Davos, North America. Like, he's literally telling people that he ran on a platform of all this. Not Loudon, not CRT, not masking, not anything having to do with children. So in case you missed it, like, so here's the thing is that, so Youngkin will tell you that we are going to fix this. Guys, they're not going to fix anything. Virginia is the linchpin. The rest of the state or the rest of the nation is going to do, they're adopting what Virginia has done to drive our children into the 4th Industrial Revolution. So here's the thing, is that I literally listened to a recording of a school board meeting where the man presenting his strategic plan said in the meeting, now this was a small town, so he's probably thinking don't have to mince my words. He literally said 50 to 60% of jobs these children will have not been created yet. Let me see if I can play it real quick. Literally said that. Who are you to determine, this is the thing, who are you to determine what our children are going to learn based on what you say in the future our children jobs are or are not going to be? Would be logic. But the thing is that they've created this future. The Great Reset. I mean, there's manuals on how to teach in the 4th Industrial Revolution. That has a metal hand and an apple in it. Okay, this isn't conspiracy theory, guys. It's factual. And it's frightening. And so the reason that I wanted to come on here was I wanted to show you guys images of what this looks like, because everybody knows how upset that I get when people talk about critical thinking, especially people running for school board or delegates that I like talk about 21st century skills or deeper learning, but especially global citizenship. Okay. You can pull it up and, they talk about it all the time. So if you're not questioning what words mean, you need to be. And I'm going to show you something. So let me see if I have this video. I just want to play the audio if I have it. Anyway, that, you know what, I'm going to say that because the big superintendent global conspiracy, not even conspiracy, it's a conspiracy, it's not theory. So the I found the link between the superintendent's strategic plan that's literally CASEL, SEL, but just make it, you know, uniform global strategic plans for schools and higher learning. Yeah, that's coming. But I've got to put that together. So again, don't have time to slow down. So if I'm talking too fast, for those of you who like to critique and judge me, you can log off and not put any effort into making change. But I'm not going to slow down. So what's really important is understanding words. And the information is freely out there. You can Google, what is global citizenship? What is the problem with global citizenship? And all this stuff is, I mean, it's not hard to find. They will define it for you, what it is. So let's start with this one. Hang on. And again, guys, these I found because I wanted to find like a definition to give you about the problem, because I'm really tired of hearing it out of Amy Gadara, Jillian Balow, all these people, global citizenship. It's literally the history standards now. It's in every word. Skills, competencies, these kind of words you have to understand. It's not math, reading, writing, arithmetic. It's not actual education. Okay. Skills, competencies. These are non-cognitive. They're not brain activity things. Okay. It's not learning to read. It's feelings, behaviors, those kind of things. So just to be clear, words have meaning. You need to start questioning them. Just like my problem with people sharing the, it's, you know, our job is to teach them how to think, not what to think. I used to be pro that quote before I actually realized what was going on. Okay. It is a quote that has been usurped just like everything else. Yes, that may have 10 or 15, 20 years ago been the goal, I guess. At this point, anybody sharing that is stupid or swamp swimming. So make them not stupid, but how to think versus what to think. What is the facts? The how is going to be your collaborative, collective, uniform, project-based, play-based learning, guys. Is that anybody that's like advocate, like people, school board members that are always talking about how we brought more play-based learning in? That is not a good thing. It sounds good, like they got more recess. Play-based learning is very bad. It's not more recess time, okay? So when you have new words being introduced to you that sound, we need to start getting to the point. To like a year ago, I was explaining to people like, you know, what a microaggression was. We are so far past that. You need to start understanding that when you see things like deeper learning, lifelong learners, critical thinking, especially, but I mean, you have to understand that these words are extremely important in telling you what your children are and definitely what they are not learning. Global citizenship. I would like for you to go to the VDOE page, find the standards, anyone you like, but especially the history standards, and see how many times the new revision wants our children to be global citizens. What's the problem with that? Well, you can't believe in the Great Reset. You can't believe in Klaus Schwab. You can't believe in all of that madness, but then ignore what our children are learning, because that's what's going on in Virginia. Is everybody's enraged about the vaccination. Same thing. All connected. Same people. All connected. Everybody's enraged about something, but is this really, if I can learn this in 13 months, this much, from ignorant mom, just mad about a mask, to here I am, effing up the state and the world one day at a time. Because, guys, it is that bad. It is that important. How did I learn this? I started reaching out to other states fighting it. But so there's so many. documents. This one I just happened to. So this would be global citizenship from the lens of education, faculty, instructors. Guys, this stuff is going to be global because this is a global initiative. They literally have, this is a global assault on the world's education system. So just because it doesn't have America or United States, it's the same thing. So this would be, let's see, where part I want to show you. So I'm going to say, the rapid technology, so they're blaming all this on technology. So you create the problem and then you create the solution for the problem you created. So and it's the same thing with like virtual bullying. Like we have to constantly teach your children about bullying, which isn't really about bullying. It's about creating protected race, mythical separation classes, like 18,000 genders and why everybody must be recognized as the color of their skin or where they're from. Like that's what they're actually doing. It's not bullying. But so you create a problem and then you create a solution. And they're making gazillions while they're taking over the New World Order. And we're going to be, District 9. And our only job is going to be milking cows. Literally. So the rapid technological advances have led the world to become borderless and much more interactive in all kinds of ways. This absolute interaction has turned the world into a global village, which economic, environmental, social, and political, as well as cultural systems are quite interrelated. Sounds not that bad. Like, yeah, we are borderless, but they're literally driving. It's not just like borderless because we're online. They're literally driving us to be borderless. One world, new world order. Nice. That makes me so mad. So here it says, in 2009, factors such as migration events, technological developments, displacement of manpower, and changes in the borders of the country have made globalization envelop. Really? Who's changing borders of the country? More important. So in 2009, explained the tendency from becoming a citizen of your own country to being a citizen of the world, and noted that globalization must be considered not only the political and economic basis, but also the cultural dimension since the development of a new world order and common values has enriched the dimension of citizenship. They say, therefore, it is inevitable to raise citizens who feel responsibility and sensitivity for global issues, hence global citizenship. Raise citizens, not children, who feel responsible for the globe. Again, they're teaching your children as early as possible that what they want out of their life is not what's important. It is their global citizenship that matters. It's like, takes actions for working for the sake of common good. My daughter was asked in 6th grade during a book test on the Giver if it was ever okay to break the law for common good. Violates my rights, her rights, PPRA. These words have meanings. If you don't know what that was English class. That wasn't SEL class. That wasn't a class. It is systemic embedded SEL. Therefore, takes actions for working for the sake of common good. Preparing the global citizenship curriculum defines a global citizen as aware of the world and their roles. Social emotional learning admittedly is self-awareness, respects and attaches importance of diversity, social awareness, castle wheel, beep, beep, beep. Understand how the world functions. Guys, you can read in like kindergarten, 1st grade standards. They're talking about all of this stuff to kindergartners. 5-year-old. My daughter's 5. She's down there going, fun, phonics, because I got her out. Not about how the world functions and her role in it at 5. You want to talk about the murder of innocence? I can't, like, oh, and then you get to hear, is desirably dedicated to social justice. And this is just one paper. This is just one I pulled up. Joins the local and global communities at various levels. Guys, the next time that somebody or you hear about people doing community service is something that I, like 9 months ago, somebody I deeply respect had posted on her Facebook page that her district was doing. And I was like, I didn't know that. I was like, I would really question that. I don't know like all of how to explain that to you. So it's that's why, guys, all of this stuff about like service-based learning, it's all part of this. It's not about actually going to help somebody to make humans be better humans. It's all part of a system and a plan. So to global citizenship, so your children are global citizens. They have to constantly be aware of their role. What is a role? Mine's the black sheep in my family, or scapegoat child. I mean, but I'm 42. I know my role in this world. Why are you teaching my child their role in this world, not much less this state or this country? Diversity. Understand how the world functions. Social justice. Joins the local and global communities at various levels. That would be after school clubs at various levels, Satan clubs. That's okay. Why is Youngkin not doing anything about it? Because it is teaching the diversity of the world for the global various levels. Okay. Takes actions with others in order to make the world a more fair and what? Sustainable place. SDGs. Takes responsibility for their own actions. Seriously? You don't even punish kids in school. I don't even know. I haven't even figured out how that one's being manipulated yet. Based upon these definitions, it is logical to classify the competencies, okay? Not the facts, the skills of global citizenship, knowledge and understanding, skills, values, and attitudes. Again, social emotional learning here. We're going to get to that in a second, where they're going to tell you yet again, but it's not the Mahatma Gandhi Institute. Okay. So again, skills, values, and attitudes, they're just missing the word morals that they're teaching at your school without your knowledge. And it's not what you're teaching at home. It might be. I probably don't know you. And if you're watching this channel and you think that people teaching morals, skills, attitudes, values, and beliefs to your child without your permission, or you even knowing what they are, you're probably not happy about it. And if you are, then you're probably one of my stalkers. So let's see here. Guys, there's literally like 8 manuals that you can find connected to the Virginia Department of Education that use this. They might have like blue, yellow, and purple. It's like the castle wheel. Same thing. So the competencies, knowledge and understanding. What does that actually mean? Social justice and equity, diversity, globalization, interdependence, sustainable development, peace and conflict, skills, critical thinking, ability to argue effectively. That's that, Youngkin after, discourse, something adults learn to do. That's not something that you need to be teaching children to do. Respect for people and goods. And then you got sense of identity and self-esteem. Talk about identity. How old were you when you figured out who you were and your place in this world that they're teaching our children? And your identity. Guys, last year they were teaching my shy child how to not be shy because it was a social skill, basic social skill that she had not been taught. And then they were going to teach her how to be more socially attractive, and then teach her how to rehearse her way out of shyness. What happened to inclusion? Guys, they're destroying children with this, and they don't care. Empathy. Okay, guys, empathy is extremely important here because it's removing your child's natural boundaries like children have. Like, ooh, cuties, boys, ew, girls. No, that's not nice. Oh, there was somebody who looks like a boy in the girls' bathroom. You need to be a better friend. They're going through things. Your children are going, what in the hell? This is not right. And then how long of you not knowing this is going on before your child is like, this is completely acceptable, mom. Why are you such a transphobe when they're 7 years old and you're out? Like, that's where this stuff comes from, guys. Like, you fly an American flag. I hate you. It comes from places starting so young. Dedication to social justice. I mean, CRT pisses a lot of people off. Well, here it is, but it's attached to global citizenship in Glenn Youngkin. So I don't. But so this is just one document, real quick, and I can't go through all this stuff all night. I've been up and down this state across the last I don't even know how many days, and so, but I really wanted to jump on here and drive this home to you guys because the history standards are currently under review. Now, it took pulling teeth and fighting to get inquiry-based learning, which is part of this. It sounds great, doesn't it? No, it's destroying children, and it's the deliberate dumbing down to make them a cog in a machine. But real quick, I'm going to go through some pictures. Oh, I got to show you this real quick. So, so the reason that the title of this YouTube is what does Glenn Youngkin and the NEA have in common? Well, the thing is that I want it open. Which you're not going to open. Let me look. Okay. I spelled this correct. The thing is that in 2009, the NEA was talking about global citizenship and the NEA. So you have to wonder what part of, and it's because when they started to do all this pre-planning, they realized that they would never get the left to buy on if they didn't put all the gender, diversity, equity, social justice stuff in there. So as long as they throw that in there, like data collection, that kind of stuff, like teachers used to be pissed about all this assessments being done because it was, not cookie cutter. There's no children. It's just horrible cookie cutter education. Like, well, SEL is cookie cutter. It's being taught across the nation, and it's one company with 18 tentacles coming down, but it's all the same competencies being taught across the nation and now across the globe. So you're talking about cookie cutter morals, values, and beliefs. That's not scary. It's going on inside your school. Every school. And if you don't write me, I'll find it for you and show you where it is in your school. But hold on. So when I send myself links, it doesn't work. Here it is. Oh, Becky Pringle may have usurped me. Let's see. Global citizenship in the NEA. Here we go. Teaching global citizenship in the classroom. June 11th, 2009. I'll be 5 minutes, okay? Oh, wait. Looks like the stock image was from 2009, I think. It looks like it was written in 2018. So the NEA and Glenn Youngkin believe in the same thing. So you can pull that article up. But yeah, it's just teaching global citizenship, and you can read it. So when you have Glenn Youngkin and the NEA believing in the same thing, don't think it hadn't seeped into the VEA or the CEA or the PWEA or the whatever, or the VBEA or the HEA. Yeah. Why do you think that they teach, like, there's not an outright riot every single day by those hate-filled teachers, except under the history standards? Because he's giving them everything that they want, and he's not going to do anything about it. But really important, this one's the most important. Why SEL curriculum is important for teaching global citizenship. Okay, guys, this is different than SDGs. So social emotional learning is here to help students navigate global society in a positive way that is beneficial to the students and themselves and our global society as a whole. So you have global learning, and with SEL, you get respect, collaboration, responsible decision-making. Sounds so pretty. What is global citizenship education? Guys, this is the really scary. So everybody needs to understand. So social awareness, so self-management. This is castle educate. That's like the castle wheel right there. But so here's really important, guys. If you don't understand the gamification of education, why Youngkin has brought Lego Metaverse into Chesterfield, like Hanover was one of the first divisions that I pulled up that already has contracts with gamification companies. So it doesn't matter how small your division is, how different you think what's going on is. Hanover already has contracts with Lego Metaverse. So Minecraft, think about this, Minecraft. Why are children obsessed? You should never let your child play Minecraft ever again, unless you want them to be a global citizen. Because why is it so pixelated and so visually unattractive, but everybody loves it? It's designed. What are they doing in Minecraft? They're building things. They're raising farm. It is literally like global citizenship, like District 9 from Hunger Game. And plus it's being integrated now into schools. So the gamification of education, look it up. Lego Metaverse. Lego, they're not going to build one single block here unless it's blockchain. I can't even get to blockchain in education because I'm stuck here. And then I got to put my kids to bed. But I will dig deeper into this tomorrow. But I wanted to show you guys. Hold on real quick. Okay, so where do we want to go with this? I'm trying to think. Okay, I'll show you this one real quick. So back to the how people learn versus what children learn. Guys, if you don't know, I call it the biohazard. That's what it looks like. These 3 circles, you'll find that when you see these a lot of divisions in Virginia have them on their school board, on their public school site. When you see these circles, it's bad because it's all part of this. It's like seeing the castle wheel. It might be in different colors. It's still the castle wheel. So how people learn plus technology plus globalization equals what? 21st century learning. This is from, that's why it looks so old. It's from a UNESCO manual I found. 21st century learning. What is 21st century learning? So when you see things like learner-centered, child-centered, okay, interdependent, increased transparency, that one makes me laugh. That literally means visible products, not transparency to us. Visibly relative, diverse. But guys, one of the most important ones is that when even the word literacy, they're talking about like digital literacy, technology literacy, media literacy is what's being taught in schools now. Media literacy, media-driven, personalized learning. Okay, personalized, adaptable. These are all words that you can hear out of our new Red Scare, Red Wave. I just found this interesting because this little rainbow with the circles going around it, you'll see it everywhere instead of the Instagram. But this I found interesting, art and 21st century skills. Now this is old because it says no child left behind. But this was years ago. They were starting to talk about art and 21st century skills, music and SEL and art, like all this stuff is going on. This breaks it down really, really well. Okay, so what is in versus what is out? So out. content, facts as the center of instruction. Now the facts are not important. The learner is. Student-centered. Student-centered means they're not teaching what? Content. Okay. Student-centered, learner-centered is in, what's out? Content. Okay. Out. Teacher as the expert and deliverer of the content is out. Look what it says. Educator as a coach, mentor, guide, resource, and lead learner. Lead learner. The teacher's not the expert. The educator is the coach and the mentor because the learner is the center of the instruction. That is critical thinking, guys. The children are not learning because nobody's teaching them. Why? Because they're being taught problem solving in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. This was straight out of an article I just read, which is why I was late coming on. Education out, uses a single text to teach a subject. Education in, use of the internet to get a pluralistic, broad, you know what pluralism is? Look it up. Broad perspective of a topic. So again, fact, feelings. Guys, they're not teaching facts anymore. They're teaching how students feel or how history could have got it wrong and how the other side could have looked. There is no villain in current standard, which is extremely dangerous for humanity when we are not teaching that people that we know historically are evil people and have done horrible things. It's terrible. We may not have known their circumstances. We can't say that about people. That's why there's no villains anymore. There's no evil people, dictators. Well, you know what? You know, we just really did not know what Osama bin Laden was going through. So we really can't teach or even celebrate or even, not celebrate, but even have a day of memory for 9/11, James River High School, because, there might be Muslim kids here and that would just be really wrong for them. If I was a Muslim kid, I'd be like, I do not want you to associate me with him. Not my people. Like, everybody is belonging to a specific cultural category. That's what we're going through, guys. Perfection is explicitly and implicitly expected. Okay. Perfection is not explicitly or implicitly expected. That's what's out. No, it's not perfection. It is good grades. You can't even fail kids now. What is that setting them up for? The 50 to 60% of jobs that have not been created yet, where it won't matter if they fail math or not. Perfection is not what we should, but accountability. Okay. So now what's in? Failure and mistakes are seen as a part of the learning process. I could not even opt my sixth grader in last year for due dates. Can you please hold my child accountable that when something's due, it's due and she gets one shot at it and not 4 shots to take a test? Because it's not helping your children. What are they going to learn when they get out? It's probably going to set them up. But what do you want them to learn? That they are accountable as adults so they become productive adults and members of society, not productive members of the global economy. Okay? It literally says, failure and mistakes, we don't expect you to do your homework on time. Not doing it is okay. It makes you look great. Just try. One size fits all curriculum. Differentiated and personalized. Guys, what this means is that not every child, and I've said this before and people look at me like I'm crazy. They literally, what this means is not every child is receiving the same instruction. And which is like, well, that sounds okay. No. It means that all this data they're collecting, your child is literally based on their cognitive scores and what they think that they're going to be when these 50 to 60% of jobs that have not been created, they're going to, well, you know what? And, she's not malleable. She's never going to conform. So we're just going to dumb her down as much as possible and drive her into the ground instead of letting her be the epic, amazing genius free thinker that she is. We're just going to, because she's never going to conform and become a global citizenship. She's going to fight us this whole time. She's a high defiant nonconformist. Whew, we figured that out when she was 7. Whew, we could have wasted so many resources on her that now we're just going to dump because they're all learning something different in their Chromebooks. Teachers can't give you curriculum. You can't see because they're all getting it different. So should all children learn the same thing? Yeah. That's equality. So we have to question then, is that when these people are talking about equity, are they really like that racist, or are they really part of the swamp? Summative assessments for accountability, ongoing formative assessments. We'll have to do that a different day. You can look it up. It's not hard to find. Learning is typically only focused with only with the brain and mind. Learning is multisensory, hands-on, authentic. Another word, and relevant to who? So it's not your brain, because we know their brains are not getting fed information. So guys, back to that play-based learning, which I sat and listened to Catherine Haynes talk about for a year about how excited she was about this play-based learning. And I was like, this woman would not say anything nice or positive having to do with children ever. And now I'm understanding why. She's not talking about like actual like kindergartners getting actual recess time and like being children. Play-based learning, project-based learning, all part of the plan. My daughter had a whole year of project-based learning over at Evergreen, a whole year where she did nothing as an individual and she did everything as a collective. Students spend most of their time consuming content created by others. Content, facts created by others. Reading classic books, reading, I don't know, Bill of Rights, learning the Bill of Rights, learning about government and how government operates. Learners produce as well as consume content. Produce. Learners produce. What are they producing? This is why, guys, they're driving kids to get out of school as soon as possible. It's not to benefit them. Oh, you want to go and, an internship, or, you want to go learn how to be a teacher at 16, and oh, yeah, you can be done. Go on, get out. That's why, guys. It's not because the kids are smarter. Kids are not getting out of school quicker because they're smarter. They don't want them to be there. Teachers do most of this is out. Remember, these are the outs. Teachers do most of the work in talking during class time. Well, yes, because remember, teachers are no longer the experts and the deliverer of content. Okay? They are the coaches, the mentors, the guides. The learner, the student is the center of instruction. How is a child ever going to learn calculus? This is just basic common sense. How is a child ever going to learn calculus if they're the center of instruction and the teacher is not the expert but the coach to what the child doesn't know? The learners do the talking and working than the educator. Then why do they want more money? Out. Technology as an add-on. Technology seamlessly integrated into the curriculum. Remember, Virginia is one of the only states that has 0 textbooks. Misbehavior is out, guys. Misbehavior is disciplined by the teacher. Misbehavior is viewed as an opportunity for growth and often resolved through group effort. Anybody ever have a child in elementary school that had to talk about a teachable moment? We had a teachable moment today. I told my daughter's principal at Evergreen, I said, if you ever mention the fact that my daughter got chest checked by a boy, that it was a teachable moment ever again, I don't even know what that is. That's not a teachable moment. Okay. So misbehavior is no out, is disciplined. It's a teachable moment. Social emotional learning, this is out. Minimally or not integrated into learning. Social emotional learning seen as integral to educating the whole child. I don't have time to get into whole child. That's Chan Zuckerberg. Oh, look, Common Core path to 21st century success. So this conversation or debate that I got into is just because it wasn't called Common Core. We never had Common Core. No, it wasn't called Common Core. But it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck. And other states are abandoning their goose to adopt our duck. There's a big problem there. We did have Common Core, but it was called the Standards of Learning, period. Because when you have the same end goal and the same process, which you can go back and you can look at the standards of learning as they evolved. Like I've showed the slide before of 2016 is when this history standards started to have the word skills presented every other word. This is when they started to, because they do it every 7 years, you started to have kindergartners. The age of reason is 7. Psych 101, learned it in 1998, 7. What is the age of reason? Cause and effect. Connecting dots. Children do not see cause and effect and this is historically over time. So just because it doesn't work for you anymore doesn't mean you get to. So it's like arguing with a 4-year-old. I've done it. I did it with 2 children over and over and over. It is pointless. They do not get it. But you can share the slide from the 2016 kindergarten. History. Standards, cause and effect to 5-year-olds. Not possible. They don't get it. Their brains, no matter how much they don't get it. Digital fluency, collaborative communication, adaptive. I mean, these are just trigger words that you should be like. So I just want to show you this one, investigative explorers. Like this is like an elementary school one. So these are things that you need to start. Oh, your child's a resourceful learner. Can you explain to me what that means? Your child has very adaptive problem-solving skills. Can you please explain what you're teaching them and what that means? So you're not asking every single thing. If it's not the word math or arithmetic or algebra. But guys, this is what I want to end with. I think it really sums it up best. Global citizen education. Education for sustainable development. Okay. Education for development. Environmental, that's all this global warming stuff. Right here. Enter multicultural education. So you can't be a global citizen. This is very important. So imagine how many times in a week Glenn Youngkin in our education system uses the word global citizenship. Well, you have to have this multicultural education, which is inclusive, which is social justice and equality. This is again from another UNESCO article. Respect for diversity. So Glenn and everything he said that he was going to get rid of. 1. So then you have citizenship education. What is that? Sounds great, right? No. Human rights. Really? Wait, where are you getting what human rights are? Do we even know what people even know what actual human rights are anymore? I'm not a transphobe because I say that trans rights are not human rights. They're not. And I'm not hateful. It doesn't make me anything. It means that I acknowledge facts about what facts are. Trans rights are not human rights. They're humans. They have human rights. You don't, a specialized classified, is that what they're doing with this bullying stuff? Is that they're creating protected classes that don't exist to be protected. They're humans. We are all humans. We all deserve to be treated with human rights. So that's really problematic that global's okay. And then right here, why isn't Youngkin really going to do anything about the education for gender equality? Because it's part of his end game. Right here. Yeah. Like I said, guys, nobody's coming to save us or our kids. It doesn't matter that we were promised the world and it wasn't delivered. It's not coming. It's not coming. He literally does not care. We could light him up all day long about all this stuff. And he's like, do you know how much I'm worried? I bought this license. They brought me it. Nobody's coming to save us, guys. And then right here, global citizenship, Glenn Youngkin's civic and moral education. What is that? Social emotional learning. So words have power is what I'm going to say right there. And I'm going to go. But words have power. Words have meaning. Every word, I can't, like, I'm having a panic attack thinking about all of you sending your kids to school that I can't reach and shake you and get you to understand how bad this is. Like, I cannot. I have moments like this and I'm like, I wish I could be one of those parents that just pulls my kids and says, my kids are safe. Bye. I got them out. But guys, here's the thing. I can't do that because my kids, one of them in 6 years, will be an adult interacting with these people. The other one, thank God I have her for 13 more years or I would really be having a panic attack. You can't pull them out and expect them, their lives are, that you can give them the best, well-rounded, patriotic American education in your home or in a school very closely. If you pick a private school, God have mercy, call me and I will help you find one. Guys, you cannot pull them and then think that they're going to have a normal adulthood. You may have given them a normal childhood, but you're not handing them a better future for themselves or your grandchildren, which is the problem with the Republican Party. Is that we think in 4-year increments where we're fighting people that think 100 years out. They don't care if they're here to see this all come to fruition, just knowing that they were a part of it, to bring down, destroy it all. I'm here fighting for my grandchildren so that my daughters don't have to be doing this. I can give them the best childhood possible, but if they have a crappy adulthood because I didn't do anything to make their future better, shame on me. Now I'm mad. I was really tired. Now I'm mad. My ears are burning. Guys, this state has got to wake up. You have got to get on the phone. I talked so much politics with so many politicians last week that I could not shower enough. I felt like I'd been swimming in the swamp. I had the blade of vampire rave blood pouring on me. Like, what these people have voted for and brought in, whether they know or don't know, we will find out this month and next month when they go into session. Because once you determine and they're not stupid anymore because you give them the facts. Stupid swamp swimming. Could they be stupid? Okay. I would like to sit down and discuss with you. We would. Call me. I will drive to any corner of this state to meet with your delegates and your senators who will meet with you or have a conversation about what's actually going on. Because believe it or not, I had many reach out to me last week. What they do with it determines whether they are swamp swimming or not. Now, whether the conversations I had last week was a gut check to them that they're not good, whether they were swamp swimming, then right the ship. Sorry, Jerome, that I jacked your term. I'm not a Jen Giggins. But I don't know. We will see. Does everybody get a chance at redemption in life? Absolutely. If our politicians that were swamp swimming finally were like, all right, can't do that anymore, and the next 2 months determines that they do something different and not just to get reelected, because I read people like this. There's a problem with being hyper intelligent when your brain moves too fast and all that, is that I can read human behavior like this, and I will know if these people did what they did just to get reelected. But this is the thing. Whether it's now or in the afterlife or wherever you think you're going, you will answer. Our politicians will answer for not saving these children, is what it comes down to. Anybody fighting to save babies, anybody that's pro-life, that's not talking education, we should all call our pro-life senators and ask them, why don't you care about our babies that are actually on this earth right now as much as you care about saving the babies? I'm pro-life. But I care probably more than the ones that are actually here now that we're failing. But we care so much as conservatives, and we are so proud of murdering babies is abhorrent. Do not get me wrong. But we have children that we are murdering their innocence and their futures and their identities and their souls every single day. So call your pro-life senators and ask them why they are not pro-child, pro-born child. It's really as easy as that. And I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to dumb it down. If there's anything that you don't understand, please reach out to me. And we can talk about it. But I can't speak to a room full of people that have 18 different levels of understanding and raise my children, see my husband when I can, and not get paid, try not to go broke, and not lose my mind trying to save the world. Sorry. I've given you every word. I would be, this was me. When I first found out about this stuff, oh, the state, I'm going to go find this person. I'm calling every state, blowing them up until then. Now my squad, because it's going on. I'm telling you it is. If you're watching this, you probably know it is. You just don't, you want it literally explained to you verbatim, and I don't have it. I wish I did, but I'll have a conversation and help you understand. So y'all take care. Happy Sunday. Good night.